Losing touch with friends after 30 isn't about growing apart. It's about a quiet, invisible exhaustion you can't name. Watch a man type out a message to an old friend, delete it, and just sit there and you'll see exactly what's really happening. You're looking at the exact moment an invisible system wins, the one that quietly dismantled friendships you never meant to lose. By point 2, you'll understand the documented friendship recession among men after 30 and why shifting life priorities replace the proximity that once held bonds together without effort. Point 4 names the emotional skill atrophy that makes reaching back feel impossible, even when the desire is still there. By the end, you'll have the deliberate reframe that lets you rebuild connection on purpose, starting now. You watch a man type out a message to an old friend, delete it, and just sit there. That pause isn't awkwardness, it's the exact moment a pattern most men never name takes hold. You tell yourself you'll reach out next week, but next week becomes next month, and somewhere along the way the silence starts feeling normal. Not because you stopped caring actually, because caring without a clear invitation feels like too much risk to take. The former U.S. Surgeon General documented that chronic loneliness activates the same neural circuits as physical pain, because your brain treats social disconnection as a survival threat, the same way it would treat a physical wound. For most of human history, being cut off from your group meant danger, and that wiring hasn't updated for a world where friendships quietly dissolve between work emails and weekend obligations. You don't notice the drift until you realize the last real conversation you had with someone who truly knows you was months ago. That quiet ache you feel when you scroll past an old photo isn't weakness, it's your nervous system telling you something essential went missing. Section 3 looks at the actual replication study that shows where that instinct to just grin and bear it really comes from. You're about to see the one small mental habit that's been draining your energy and you didn't even know you were doing it. Do you know what you've actually been trading away? Every time you type out a message to someone and then delete it, you're spending time and emotional energy on something that never happens. That's a hidden tax on your life that you've never accounted for. You're not just missing out on connection. You're actively investing in its absence by rehearsing the reasons it's safer to stay silent. A 2018 review of 43 studies found the most durable change comes not from insight alone but from repeated exposure to new experiences that contradict the old expectation. Understanding your pattern is the beginning, not the end. So what happens when you finally send that message and the conversation actually takes off? That's where the real shift starts. You learned early that staying in a conversation long past the moment you wanted to leave it was just what you did. You sat in that booth, nursing a warm beer, laughing at jokes you'd already heard, because leaving first felt like admitting something you weren't ready to name. That instinct didn't come from nowhere. A 2020 replication study across 7 countries, published in Nature Human Behavior, found that core patterns around threat response, attachment, and social belonging held up in every single culture tested. These aren't Western habits. They're features of how human minds are built. Your brain learned that staying meant safety, that pushing through discomfort kept you inside the group, and that walking away risked something your nervous system couldn't afford to lose. You send a text to an old friend, just a simple "Hey man, how's it going?" and then you stare at the screen waiting for those 3 dots to appear. When they finally do and the reply comes back as one word, "Fine," your brain immediately starts building a case file, scanning for hidden meaning, deciding whether that single word means he's annoyed, distant, or just busy. And you choose the worst possible interpretation before you even realize you're doing it. That spiral isn't random. It's a pattern your nervous system learned over years of reading rooms instead of starting conversations, of scanning for threat instead of reaching for connection. Habit formation research at MIT's McGovern Institute found that repeated behaviors get encoded in the basal ganglia as automatic sequences, which means the way you interpret a friend's silence today isn't a fresh reaction. It's a loop that's been running so long it feels like instinct. You don't decide to assume the worst. Your brain just plays the tape because that's the tape it knows. Here's the thing nobody tells you about men losing friends after 30: it's not dramatic. There's no blow-up, no falling out. It just quietly stops. And what's wild is that most guys don't even realize they've been running a pattern since childhood, one where vulnerability felt dangerous, so they learned to keep everything surface level. The ACE study out of Kaiser Permanente tracked 17,000 people and found that childhood stress accumulates silently, showing up decades later in how we regulate emotion and how we connect, often without us connecting the two dots. Not because you're bad at friendship. Actually, because somewhere along the way you learned that needing people wasn't safe, and that lesson just never got updated. So what becomes possible now? Which one hit closer, the moment you recognized the pattern, or the part where you realized what it was costing you? Send this to someone who does exactly this. You just learned why, and they don't know yet. Subscribe to Psychology 106. Next video covers why the same fear that stops you from reaching out also decides who you're able to show up for.